solve some inequalities. Find the domain of the below function, and the function is f of x equal to square root of negative x minus 7 times x plus 2. Why is this in solving an inequality? Because the domain of this function is where everything under the square root is going to be bigger than or equal to 0. So let's set that up. I'm going to go minus x minus 7 times x plus 2 bigger than or equal to 0. Now from here, what I know is that if I have an inequality like that, first I have to find the boundary, or where the cutoffs are. So I'm going to set the polynomial equal to 0 first. And by setting it equal to 0, I will get x equal to 7 and x equal to negative 2. Now I'm going to use this boundary, these cutoff points, or boundaries for the intervals, basically. And then I use a number line x, and I put in the 2 in here. So I have negative 2 first, and then 7. Now I use test points. Let's try to do some test points. And one thing that I know is that because this is equal, there's an equal sign in this inequality, these 2 points are going to be included. So I fill them out, and then I go for test points. Let's say a test point over here would be test point x equal to negative less than negative 2 is negative 3, for example. If I plug in, it would be minus my quantity minus 3 minus 7, which is minus 10, that's positive 10, times quantity minus 3 plus 2, which is minus 1. It would be a negative value. This would be a negative for this polynomial. So that's the inside polynomial, and it would be a negative value. If I use another test point over here, I know, let's see, 0. If I plug in 0, I get negative times negative 7, which is positive 7, times 2, which is a positive value. And if I plug in another test point here, test point, and in here I can choose, for example, 10, I will notice it's going to be a negative value. There are more to it because g of x was a quadratic polynomial. Look at this. It has two linear factors multiplied together by a negative sign, and the leading coefficient is going to be negative 1. The shape of this g of x looks like this. So g of x is looking like that, and it's going to cross the x-axis at 2 points, which is negative 2 and 7. And I know before that it's negative, after 7 it's negative, and in the middle is positive. So for this specific question, I could have just used the shape of the parabola or the quadratic polynomial in here and to figure it out. So I didn't need to really do test points. This is really useful in Calculus 1 to know the shape, and then from there find the sign. So now that I found the sign and I know that I want g of x to be bigger than or equal to 0, the answer to that is, the result of that is negative 2 and 7 including. So the domain of f is negative 2 and 7.